The first duty of every Starfleet officer is to the truth, whether it's scientific truth, or historical truth, or personal truth. It is the guiding principle on which Starfleet is based.
Hey everyone, I'm Captain Jack and welcome back to Trek Central. As we build up towards a big back-to-back panel block that will be coming on the 20th of July from San Diego Comic-Con, we've got a look at not only the items from Jean-Luc Picard's past, but also items of his soon-to-be-told future. Along with this, we have several new details about the upcoming show, thanks to an Entertainment Weekly interview with Star Trek franchise boss Alex Kurtzman and Picard series showrunner Michael Chabon. Let's jump in and see what we've learned. Just a small disclaimer, I am slightly feeling unwell, so do apologise for the different sounding voice. Now, we here at Trek Central are sadly not in attendance at this year's San Diego Comic-Con, but through the marvel of the internet, all of us not in attendance were able to see these new items from the soon-to-be-released Star Trek Picard series. So we're going to share some for you today. The Jean-Luc Picard The First Duty exhibit was designed to be an in-universe movie exhibit, acting like it was inside the Star Trek universe and giving people a look into the Admiral Jean-Luc Picard that they've probably heard of. And yes, you heard me correctly. Admiral Picard, one of the very first plaques you see as you enter the exhibit, tells us that Jean-Luc Picard had reached the rank of Admiral and had retired by the year 2386, therefore leaving Starfleet. This does align with the information we know about the series so far, so it's kinda cool to see them both connecting, and we most likely thought they'd connect anyway. There weren't too many new items from the exhibit, with most of them being from Picard's history, though we did learn some key things. Some items being from the Next Generation, such as his various uniforms and of course his Rezican flute, to pictures of his family and crew. Also models of all the ships he's commanded, from the Stargazer to the Enterprise D and the Enterprise E. Very cool to see. One of the new items we did see was Picard's civilian attire. This piece is different from the one we see Picard wear in the new Entertainment Weekly picture, but adds to the idea that he's no longer the man in Starfleet we once knew. The other new item is a stack of crates of Chateau Picard. These bottles have excellent detail of them, which just adds to the realism of the bottles. They're also similar to the ones featured in the teaser trailer we received a while back, a bottle of Chateau Picard 2386. A year that seems to have great significance within the show and exhibit itself, with multiple parts of the gallery referencing that year. On a separate note, it'd be great to have a Star Trek drinks company produce a line of Chateau Picard that us fans can buy. I'd find that cool. What about you? The other items which are interesting are a selection of awards Picard has received throughout his life. These are awards that are not only from Starfleet, but from Andorians, Vulcans, Bajorans, and even a Klingon award for stopping the Klingon Civil War. The award that holds the biggest significance for us here at Trek Central is an award for exemplary service to peace negotiations in 2386. This is the same year mentioned in many different places, such as a batch of Chateau Picard, and I wouldn't be surprised if they change the date of the Hober supernova to 2386, as one of the plaques next to the Chateau Picard states that Picard left Starfleet in the same year of 2386 as well, probably due to an unfortunate event, the same event which we've most likely heard referenced quite a few times in the media relating to the Picard series. I'm going to speculate and say that peace negotiations relate to the Romulan Star Empire, or at least what is left of the Romulan people following the Hober supernova that kinda wiped them all out. A pair of items I personally found interesting in the exhibit was a Klingon Batleth and Klingon Duktaga knife. The Batleth was given to Admiral Picard by Commander Worf in the year 2381, about 2 years after Star Trek Nemesis took place. The knife, on the other hand, was Picard's when he stood as Worf's Chadich, or second, during a former's trial in 2366. There are plenty of great things on the Star Trek Picard exhibit, and we've linked a few images down below should you want to take an expanded and in-depth look. There's also plenty going up on our social media, so make sure to follow us over there, the links are on screen now. In an Entertainment Weekly article linked below in the description, Alex Kurtzman and Michael Chabon will ask several questions about where the series is going and how much Picard has changed since we last saw him in The Next Generation. Firstly, yes, Picard is going back to space. In the interview, Kurtzman says that events begin to unfold and conspire to Picard to take back to the stars. So we know that Star Trek Picard won't just be about how Picard's vineyard is doing this season, which would be a good show we'd all still watch, but this is probably going to happen anyway, so it isn't the biggest reveal. We know he's going back to space, which is good. What is slightly strange is all of the marketing so far has focused on the ground side of Picard's life, mainly the vineyard, instead of showing us spaceships with a Federation, almost like something's being hidden from us viewers. This could all change when the trailer drops, but it's something to take note of. What's going to happen to the dog when he goes to space? Is it going to come with him? These are the important questions we should be asking. However, this doesn't mean that Picard is returning to Starfleet. Picard seeks to fight a specific injustice, yet won't have his usual resources that he had when he was a part of Starfleet. From a teaser trailer we previously got, we know that once Admiral Picard had left Starfleet, but this statement by Alex Kurtzman goes a little bit more into detail. Kurtzman says he will go to space, but not in a way that anyone expects. He continues by saying, because he's no longer in Starfleet, he no longer carries the weight of that behind him. In some ways, it's easier to be a great man when you've got a captain, but it's entirely a different thing when you don't have an army behind you. When you want to get something done and fight an injustice, how will you do that when you're really only one man? So we'll be seeing Picard very different from how we saw him than his tenure on the Enterprise, one without resources behind him to solve the situations before him. So we may find our Picard to be very different and having a harder time trying to solve these injustices, whatever they might be. On this note, I think this is how we'll see Picard build up his crew, who are obviously going to be the already announced main cast. Most likely each individual will have a unique set of skills in order to contribute to Picard's mission. The interview goes into what Picard is dealing with, but yet at the same time it's still the same Picard we fell in love with all those years back. Kurtzman says that there are many things that haunt Picard, adding that the ill-fated Romulus mission is just one of those things. He continues by saying, you will not see a vision that betrays the man we love from the next generation. We're not doing that. But we wanted to put a character with that level of morality and leadership and who always does the right thing no matter how hard the circumstances. We wanted to put that to the test. Michael Chabon, the new showrunner, states, he's a lot older and we're not shying away from that at all. We're dealing with a man who's a very different place in his life. It was terribly important to us that he remains fundamentally Picard. Now I know Patrick Stewart also shared this vision, he didn't want to disrespect what they built up in the Next Generation and such, so yeah, it's an important thing that we're remembering this. If you've seen any of our videos recently, you know that we like to speculate and discuss the idea of the Next Generation cast members returning to cameo or feature in the new show. The interview goes into whether old cast members could be seen in the new show. Alex Kurtzman has this to say on the matter. What we don't want to do is just throw in cameos. There would have to be an incredibly specific story reason for them to be there. This, I believe, is the best way to do it. We don't want random cameos just to be the case of nostalgia, but boy, would it be good to see some old faces, even if it's just Picard asking for now Admiral Riker on the Titan for help. The idea of cameos has become more active recently, with LeVar Burton, who played Enterprise's chief engineer Geordi LaForge, saying that he'd love to return, as well as stating that we'll most likely see cameos from other Next Generation cast members, but not maybe a full-blown reunion that many want. And finally, we learned something that has already been known for a very long time now. Patrick Stewart is a goddamn good actor. Michael Chabon has this to say. The quality of Patrick's acting, if anything, has gotten even better over time, and he was already a master. He has the ability to hold you riveted even when he's just sitting there and listening. It sounds like Star Trek Picard is going to have some stellar acting by Patrick Stewart, which is fine by me, and I can't wait to see the show on our screens very soon. Hopefully a trailer is this weekend, and we get to see Picard in action. So that's mainly it for our Star Trek Picard news today. What do you think about the information we've shared today? Comment your opinions down below. Remember that Star Trek Picard has a big panel at San Diego Comic-Con tomorrow, Saturday the 20th of July. If you're not at Comic-Con like us, then make sure to subscribe and follow us on social media, as we'll have all the information as it airs for you. You can find us here on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. In the meantime, I've been Captain Jack, thank you for watching and we will see you next time.